Let's replace the starter on this 2019 Chevy Blazer. The vehicle got towed in for a no start condition. When you hit the ignition, you only do a click. So we're going to replace it. Let's start by removing our battery ground terminal. Let's unplug the battery sensor first and use a 10mm socket and ratchet like this to loosen the battery terminal. And let's take it out, put it on the side. You can put a rag on top of the terminal so you make sure of no contact. And now let's put the vehicle up in the air, and we're going to spray some WD-40 at the exhaust bolt. There is two nuts, sorry. You need to spray some WD-40. And let's remove the shield here. Well, it is optional. You don't necessarily have to remove that shield. You can leave any place if you want, but you definitely have to remove those two nuts here. Spray some WD-40, let it soak a little bit, and I would really suggest you use a 1/2 inch ratchet and a 15mm if you don't have an air gun like this, so you can remove those nuts. There you go, it's loose. Now open the vehicle back down. Literally the whole job can be done from the top. You have nothing to do at the bottom beside the exhaust. So we're going to use a trim tool like this to pop this push pin of the engine block. And now we're going to unplug our upstream O2 sensor. Let's push this white tab out with a pick or a flat blade screwdriver. Push it out and disengage the connector, the pin, so you can pull the connector at the same time. You need 2 hands for this, like this. Now we're going to remove the exhaust manifold / catalytic converter nut. It's held by 4 15mm nut. Use a 50mm ratchet like this. I also only suggest you use a 15mm long 15mm and a 3/8 ratchet like this to remove those nuts. You don't have to remove the catalytic converter all the way. You just loosen it so you can have enough room to access the starter, because the starter is located right behind it, in the front of the engine. Now we're gonna use a 30mm socket and ratchet like this. Now we take out this 30mm bolt and we put the ground cable on the side. Now let's remove this cap of the alternator. We're going to remove the positive cable in the back of the alternator using a 30mm ratchet and socket. There it is. I put the cable on the side. Now we're going to remove this 10mm right there that hold the starter shield in place. There is 2 of them. There is a picture for reference. You might not see the other one, but there is another one on the left side. It's 2 of them. Remove them. It's 2 10mm, and you'll be able to remove the starter shield. I'm removing the last bolt of the starter shield on the left side. It's pretty impossible to see it, but it is there. Trust me, it's there. Now we're going to remove the positive cable for the starter. It's 2 of them. There is the 10mm bolt right there that we're removing is out, and there is a 30mm nut in the back of the starter. You're gonna use a 30mm ratchet and wrench like this to remove it. We got the cable out of the way. Now we're going to remove the starter bolt. There is one 15mm on the front on the left side. I'm using a 1/4 inch ratchet like this to remove it. Got the bolt off. There is 2 bolts, but each of them are different. See picture for reference right there. Now I'm gonna remove the back one. It's under the starter. You can't see it. Once again, it's there. You do it by feel. I'm gonna use a 1/4 inch ratchet like this with a long 15 so I can remove the bolt. There it goes out of the way. Now there is a shield that protect the knock sensor. I will suggest you remove it. As you guys see right there, it's just hanging. And after that, you're gonna have to unplug the starter connector. There is this one right there. You disengage the right clip and compress the tab so you can unplug it. Here's the old starter. Here's the new one right there. It only goes in one way. We're going to put our starter in. Before you put it in all the way, make sure you plug that connector in. Make sure you plug that connector in. It's impossible to plug it in once the starter in place. You plug it in, engage everything. Now we're going to run the bolt through. The longer bolt going in the front of the starter, that one. The longer bolt. And the shorter bolt going to back under the starter on the other side. You can't see it once again. I'm doing it by feel. I'm tightening it down. I'm putting the shield over the knock sensor now. This is the shield right there. Now I'm going to put the starter cable in. It's behind that. It goes behind that bar right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's crimped up in there. It's really by design. You're gonna put the starter positive cable in. It's a 30mm nut. Put it in, and we're going to put the 10mm bolt right there that hold it in place. We're going to put our shield in place. It goes behind that bar here with the red thing on top of it. And put the bolt there. It's 10mm once again. Here they are. I'm gonna use my electric ratchet to put them in. There you go. Now we're going to put our catalytic converter in. Got all the bolts in. I'm using my 3 ratchet and a 15mm to tie the bolt, to tie the nuts. There it is. Now we're going to plug our alternator cable. It's held by a 20mm nut. Here it is. And there is a cover that go over it, a little cap, not cover, it's a little cap. You put on top of the nut. For looks like it's for corrosion and contacts. Here it is. We push our push pin in place to the engine block. Now we're going to put our ground cable. This is critical, make sure you put it in. It is held by a 13mm. It is bolted to the engine block. Make sure it's in, if not the vehicle won't start. It is critical. You put all those things where they belong. Have the bolt 13mm. Now we're going to plug our auto sensor. You're gonna hear a click when it's fully seated, and engage the white tab. There it is. Now we're going to put the cap bit on the alternator cable. There it is. We're going underneath the vehicle now to put our exhaust back in. It is held by two 15mm. On the bolt tool. There it is. And this one is undercarriage. I don't know what that is, but it's something to hold the vehicle. It's a waist bar maybe to hold the vehicle in place. So we're going to put our battery cable and our battery sensor monitor, plug it in. There it is. And there it is. That's it, guys. The vehicle is ready to be started. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.